the recap from today's live stream. I go live every Wednesday at noon here in California, and today it was cluster busting time because I have got so many scraps, piles and piles of scraps that I needed to make something useful out of them. So today I made clusters and I worked in pinks and then I did some yellows. And we had such a great conversation today. We had a good time talking about the power of words and how negative words stay with us way too long, and we really have to work hard to find some positives to knock those negatives right out of our head. And that's why it's important to surround yourself with a good support system. If you're on Facebook and you like that kind of thing, you can come join us over in the Facebook group where we do support one another. And I just thought I would show you the short version of how I make a cluster. And here's the thing about clusters. There are no rules. I can't say, oh, well, you pick up 3 pieces of this and 1 piece of this and a 1/2 inch of that. The whole idea is just to use all these little leftovers that seem to pile up on our desk all the time. And that makes it a lot more fun to me because every time they're going to come out different. And I might finish one, and then a few days later, I might decide to add even more to the back. So it might end up being 2 inches long, and when I'm done, it might end up being 6 inches long. It can become a little tiny cluster that goes on the page of a journal, or it goes on the side of a greeting card or a bookmark, or it could become a great big cluster that can go on the front of a journal or become a significant art piece all by itself. And I just keep messing around with things until it feels right. I'm sorry, I can't give you any more details than that because that's what I do. Everything I do art-wise is just based on what my gut feels like at the moment. I decided to do these by clusters, by color. I've got a whole bunch of scraps in my little tubs all sorted out by color. And then I like to add a little bit of white or off-white or black, or maybe all of the above. But usually I just try and pick one kind of neutral color to make the other colors pop. With the yellows and pink today, I added just a little bit of white. And of course, I'm not a fan of straight edges, so my very best friend in the world is my seam ripper. And I love to get that seam ripper out and just kind of tear up the edges of lace and fabric and get things frayed and just kind of look a little bit more worn and organic. I think it adds to the organic look. And one tip for if you have a whole bunch of scraps, like say I was going to do a whole bunch of yellow clusters and I had all my yellow scraps of lace and fabric, is that you could toss it in one of those little laundry bags and throw it in the washing machine a couple times, let it go through the dryer a couple times, send it through one more time, and you will get a lot of fraying beginning to start, especially when we have like new lace that we've bought. You need to kind of start those rough edges, maybe rip them with the seam ripper and then throw them through the washing machine and the dryer a few times. And I'll do that sometimes if I have a whole bunch of stuff I'm going to do in one color and I know that I want to work a lot in that color. I'll just go ahead and send them through the wash. But the idea is just to, pick up the little scraps and pile them up. I like to get tones of one color. I like to add a little bit of white. I like to add a little bit of black. You could do this with Fabri-Tac. You don't need to use needle and thread like I do. The idea is just to have fun with it and just keep playing around with it. And I can already look at some of those that I did today and imagine adding some more fabric to the back of them and building them up even bigger. I'm working on clusters so that I will have a good stock of them for my sale that's coming up in May. Make sure that you are on the newsletter list because newsletter subscribers get to shop for 2 days before I open the shop up to the regular public. And the link for that newsletter is right down in the description box of this video. And like I said, if you're on Facebook and you like that kind of thing, come join us over there because we have a really great support system and we promise not to let those negative words take up the residence in your head. We will help you knock them right out of there with lots of support. Go out and make your kind of art your way just because it makes you happy, and I will see you next time.